K on me, that KJV demons is getting slayed, homie. Now that's the wave, homie. Our people lost sheep and they been led astray, but the Lord is my shepherd, he gon' show us the way. I can't believe a single word a heathen got to say. Following them got us cursed in the first place. My birthplace, thinking back where I was raised in Dallas, Texas. That's where I learned my crooked ways. The Bible taught me repentance, studying every page. Grab the script, study hard, and set the streets ablaze. Yeah, I'm bringing fire down on Babylon. Isaiah 13:2, we the ones they tattle on. If I die in these streets, carry the battle on, and don't stop till you bring death to every vagabond. Protected from demons when they get manifested, guarded under angel wings. Don't attempt to grab your weapon, it won't prosper cause the seraphim are intercepted. I commune with the gods, can't a mortal come against it.
They want me reminiscing, sin calling, I must have missed it. Change my SIM card in it, can't hear me, not good riddance. Service up to horizon, I stay connected, Verizon. The riot taught on the rapture, I'm trying to glide in the cloud. And I'm a warrior, no golden state. More like the ultimate, no face paint. Put on that breastplate, without the faith, you know it's dead. They shooting, put the helmet of salvation on my head. Hold up the shield, cause it's real up on the battlefield. My sword of the spirit, cutting and slicing, chopping devils and dicing. Knock out demons, Mike Tyson. I think I'm Maccabeus. They plotting to make us Gentiles and now they wanna be us. Who gon' rise up with me against all the evildoers? They consult to keep you in sin cause they know that's your ruin. You can read that in Judith. I'm a warrior, so I prepare for the fight all day, all night. That's right, you know I do this. I do it. Yeah.
People got many faces. They choose which one to give you depending on what they face with. A friend becomes your enemy quickly in tribulation, and a brother cut another when it's ranks in the equation. An easy situation brings a different hue of faces. What we perceive to be is a cover, amplification. A tendency to be exceeds the need to be courageous, and you use up all your energy being things you ain't made with. Every situation change your face for the occasion. We can't even see you, we see this illustration. Blinded by this image you invented, can't erase it when you could just come be you. You choose an alteration. Perfection's unselected to an eye that never lets it. Hiding from opinions and chasing gratifications. You say you about your people and you here to feed your nation, but we ain't ever seen you, only your presentation. Sound familiar, but you won't change it. Pretending that it's everyone's issue and you's amazing. Convince yourself that leadership's privy, we just negate you. Meanwhile, you stay to yourself, conjuring hatred, blaming others for your constant failures in relations. The blame game always ends in emulations. Malfunction in this character, you cast it to the nation. Now we use you as a lesson for others to see the faking.
What's real? What's real? What's real? What's real? Tell me what's real? What's real? What's real? What's real? Tell me what's real? What's real? What's real? What's real? Tell me what's real? What's real? What's real? What's real? What's real? Cause nothing new under the sun. That's real. Can't hide from it, you can't run. Look in the mirror, see what you become. Then answer this question. What's real? What's real? What's real? What's real? Tell me what's real? What's real? What's real? What's real? What's real?
Come here, son. Pay attention and listen. There be many men only seeking attention, vainglorious, losing sight of the mission, feign themselves just, but you'll know they works are they witness, and they hearts are deceitful, covetous men, yeah, they masking all the evil for the love of money. They'll destroy their own people, yeah, they vision cloudy because they minds is led by the eagle. Christ is the rock and foundation to build on, and he that hath an ear, let him understand. Fiery darts pierceth the foolish man with no shield on, and by his walk you see his house was built upon the sand. Doing the work works of their father. They mind swept and garnished, so it's Satan who they follow. So worried about their reputation, they soul becometh hollow, never confessing they faults because the pride they can't swallow. And all they needed was repentance. It's okay if you fall. He sent the son for your forgiveness. Yeah, we die daily trying to make it to the entrance. Just stay up on the path and keep them laws in your remembrance. And be real with yourself. Walk it upright and move them lies to the left. Finding favor in his sight so you get eternal life is a plight for every Hebrew that's enduring in his fight. That's real.
Cause nothing new under the sun. That's real. Can't hide from it, you can't run. No. Look in the mirror, see what you become. Then answer this question. Tell me what's real. Tell me what's real. What's real? Can you tell me what's real? What's real?
What's real? Daniel wrote a confusion of faces. It's hard to tell who real when brothers is moving with fakeness. The sanctuary's supposed to be like a happy oasis, but it ain't safe when snakes is in them holy places. Masquerading your true intentions, it's so amazing. Man pleasing through conversation, your works is wasted. Backpacks and accolades, you love the praises. Now your works is dead, your ego was your foundation. We supposed to build on the holiest rock. That's Jesus Christ, anything else is coming to naught. This a army, if you fall, someone taking your spot. You only cared about your name, now it's taking a blot. Damn, you should've focused on the mission. Drowned in ambition, only working for position. When your rank was put in question, started stirring up division. Slandering the leadership to anybody who would listen. And I told you you made that mistake, but in your pride you couldn't see what I was trying to say. To own brothers some shade, to think about it, you the only one stood in your way. See brothers, you ain't gotta lie just to kick it. Show us where you lacking, we'll show you how to fix it. Love with dissimulation is only for the wicked, but it ain't too late. Just ask the Lord for forgiveness. That's real.
What's real? What's real? Tell me what's real? What's real? What's real? What's real? Tell me what's real? What's real? What's real? What's real? Tell me what's real? What's real? What's real? What's real? What's real? It's nothing new under the sun. That's real. Can't hide from it, you can't even run. Look in the mirror and see what you become. Then answer this question. What's real? What's real? What's real? Tell me what's real. Tell me what's real. What's real? What's real? What's real? Do you even know what's real?
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Welcome to another edition of History in the AM. Today you got Captain Emmanuel continuing the sub-series, The Kings of Israel. All praise to the Most High God. Today we're going to talk about the re-expansion of Jeroboam II. All right? So, couple things. Jeroboam II is not the direct son of the infamous Jeroboam that was king when the kingdom split and set up the two golden calves and all of that. All right? That's the son of Nebat. That was 200 years before this one. All right? He's just the second Jeroboam in the monarchy of the northern kingdom. That's why he's known as Jeroboam II. All right? He's not his junior, per se. And the reason why it says re-expansion, if y'all remember last time, we touched on the decline of Israel by the hand of Syria, which was prophesied by Elijah, which came to pass during the time of Jehu. All right? So, or began coming to pass during the time of Jehu. So we're gonna retouch on that a little bit, And something interesting about today's class is that this brother right here, Jeroboam II, he shows that he's an example. He's an example of the Lord don't really give a damn about our, you know how I say the Lord's thoughts are high above our thoughts, like the sky is from the ground. Like the things that we, you know, would cause us to glorify men and, you know what I'm saying, see them as, you know, admirable or whatever the case, in a carnal sense, the Lord do not give a damn about that. It's a lot of history dealing with this man, Jeroboam II. But it's only like 6 scriptures, not in different places either, like one passage of 6 scriptures concerning this brother. Just like Omri, all right, the father of Ahab. Now, Ahab, he got a good little piece of the Bible documented of him because he taught us a major lesson, all right, and how not to be a simp and other things as well. You know, is you can learn from his wicked reign. But his father, Omri, is in other nations' history books. Omri did the damn thing, all right? And we kind of touched on it, you know what I'm saying, when we had went over him. But he got like two or three scriptures. The Lord said, yeah, and Omri reigned and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. And his son reigned in his stead. But he got major history accolades. But they cornered. Lord don't give a damn about that. I'm telling you. So today, if you are an avid Bible reader, you read your 4 chapters, and you done read them every day for the past few years, meaning you done read the Bible like multiple times, today you should appreciate today because it's going to go deeper into people that you have read about, you know about, but, you know, it's going to broaden your knowledge on this particular person, you know what I'm saying, and others. So let's open up with Romans chapter 15 and verse 4.
The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Right. So the things written aforetime written for our learning. We can learn, we will learn, always learn from our forefathers. All right? Just like our sons will learn from us. The cycle continues, and the Lord put the Spirit on scribes, holy men, worthy men, to record and document these things. All right? It's the same thing every nation do with their forefathers, to learn from them going forward in the future. You don't know where you're going. You don't know where you came from. It's how you say it. How you know where you... It ain't, they don't say it like that, do you? No, they don't say it like that. But y'all know the quote. All right. So, the difference between us and other nations is we got the greatest, most famous, powerful forefathers ever to hit the planet Earth and beyond the planet Earth. Wink, wink. All right? So, today we're dealing with Jeroboam II of the northern kingdom of Israel. Now, I told y'all in the beginning of the series, the dates reference that I use for this series is the Rose Book of Charts and Timelines. All right? Now, different scholars be having different dates. They be like a decade, Like one person may say 793 to 753, then the next scholar say 783 to 743, and blah, 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 blase, blase. So during this series, I'm just using one source so my dates will be consistent. And the dates for Jeroboam II in the Rose Book of Charts and Timelines is 793 BC to 753 BC. All right? Now, Uzziah, Lord's willing, we'll go over him next time in the series. He's a special brother. He reigned during this time from 792 to 740 BC, but we're not dealing with him today. So, let's go to 2 Kings chapter 14. 2 Kings chapter 14 and verse 23.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 14 and verse 23. In the 15th year of Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah, Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, began to reign in Samaria and reigned 41 years.
Hold on. 41 years. So, as we read this today, we're reading about a span of 41 years. We got to remember that. All right? Because I'm telling you, the Bible is saying this, and 4 verses later, it's going to be done with him. So I need y'all to understand and put it into its proper perspective. This is a span, a reign of 41 years. That's 1 year longer than David reigned and Solomon reigned. All right? So, read on.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. And he departed not from all the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin.
Right. So this verse, just like all of the Northern Kingdom kings, it's the same thing. They all did the same thing Jeroboam did. Worship idols in Dan and Bethel. You understand? They departed not from that. They retained the wicked, evil idolatry amongst the Northern Kingdom. But again, like I said, this brother in particular, it's, you gotta dig deeper into, because this brother is actually an historical figure. And there's a scripture that we read very, very often, and we don't know in its historical context that it is addressing what was going on during his reign. Go to Hosea chapter 1, verse 1. Hosea chapter 1, verse 1. Because it lets you know he did evil in the sight of the Lord. But that's vague. Hosea chapter 1, verse 1.
The book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 1. The word of the Lord that came unto Hosea, the son of Beeri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel.
So that's who we're reading about. Jeroboam the second, the son of Joash, right? Over the northern kingdom. So Hosea prophesied during the reign of Jeroboam, right? Towards the end. Keep that in mind. Hosea started prophesying towards the end. So he's in context dealing with pretty much the latter end going into the aftermath of Jeroboam II's reign. Okay? Now, read chapter 4, verse 1.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
The Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, in particular, the northern kingdom, all right, the region of Samaria. The Lord has a controversy with them. Go ahead.
Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land.
So in the land, primarily the northern kingdom is talking about, it's addressing, there is no truth, no mercy. No knowledge of God. All right, so no truth. We know what that means. God's law. Psalms 119, 142. There is no enforcing of God's laws in the land. They have no Levites, no Levitical priesthood. They're priests or priests to idols. So it's no truth, no mercy. We're going to deal with that later. But their mercy is talking about the mercy to the less fortunate, the poor, the impoverished, the widows, the fatherless, the lowborn people in the land of Israel. No mercy. And it also in judgment, meaning, hey, if you got some bread and you want this person put away, and he can't match that bread, we gonna put him away. That's what they was doing. No mercy. We know you ain't do it. We ain't got no witnesses, but guess what? They paid us off. So bye-bye. That's what they was doing. No mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. Nor knowledge of God in the land. Now, I just mentioned they don't have the Levitical priesthood, right? So they don't have any priests, to the Most High God. But who else is responsible for spreading the knowledge of God through the land? The prophets, right? So we gonna show y'all how they treated the prophets during his time as well. So just stay tuned for that. But it's letting you know, during Jeroboam's reign, there was no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. Go ahead, what else?
By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery.
So we use this scripture when we go to the absolute worst, crime-ridden, violence, prostitution, plague communities in America. When we go throughout the world, when we go and teach, right? The worst of the worst, where it's bad, where it's gutter, where it's ratchet, where it's going down. And again, in context, because it do apply to today. Hosea was a prophet. The Lord judgment like a ring. But in context, this is what was going on during Jeroboam's reign. The one that we're reading about, Jeroboam II. You understand? So the swearing, the lying, the killing, the cutthroatedness was taking place in the land. You understand? And the Lord is using Hosea to call it out. Go ahead.
They break out, and blood toucheth blood.
And they was killing each other. Yes, they were killing each other. You understand? During his reign. It was going down. All right? So go back to 2 Kings chapter 14. So we read 24, he did evil. So we expounded a little bit by showing what the prophets addressed, as far as what was happening during his reign. So now let's read verse 25. So this is the part where, again, as I said, he has accolades, just like Omri had accolades, right? Read verse 25. Watch this.
2 Kings chapter 14, verse 25. He restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath unto the sea of the plain, according to the word of the Lord God of Israel, which he spake by the hand of his servant Jonah, the son of Amittai the prophet, which was of Gath-hepher.
All righty. All right, meaning from the tribe of Zebulun. So, Jeroboam restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath unto the sea of the plain. So, all right. Shout out to Bishop Nathan. Double honors to our bishop. All praise to the Most High God, the wisdom endowed unto this man. Now, growing up, all the way up until a month ago, I never liked, and I've been saying this in classes, y'all been paying attention. I never liked, enjoyed, you know what I'm saying, checked for anything that was medieval, like the medieval style movies and shows and all of that, knights and Man, get that. I don't want whack. You understand? But Bishop, you know, he kept mentioning Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones. We was on a quest. You know, he'll bring up stuff that's relating to the scriptures and just ask certain questions. And he'd be like, you know Game of Thrones? You seen Game of Thrones, right? Nah, Bishop. What the hell is this? You understand? So I'm like, okay, when I get back, I'm going to watch Game of Thrones. So in Game of Thrones, you don't got to watch that necessarily, but any of those movies that portray kingdoms that participate in conquest, you know what I'm saying? The reign of the king, his councils, you understand the operation, how, you know, the separation of classes and stuff like that in medieval kingdoms and prior to those, like ancient kingdoms as well. It really helps you put things into perspective. So there were no tanks, there were no planes, there were no vehicles. You understand? So when we talking about land masses being conquered or recovered, we talking about war over massive areas of land by way of horsemen. You understand? So put that on a. Do I want that? I don't want the map yet. All right. From Little Rock, Arkansas to Memphis, Tennessee, that's what? How many miles? 100 and about 140, 150, 100, right. So in a car, it ain't nothing but 2 hours, right? We 2 hours away from Memphis. Just imagine we was on a conquest to conquer Memphis on foot. So we take the whole Little Rock with 200,000 Negroes. Well, it ain't that many Negroes. It's about, I say the Little Rock metropolitan area, Little Rock, Jacksonville, you know what I'm saying, the surrounding cities, whatever. You'll get somewhere, maybe 150,000 Negroes, something like that. Imagine bringing 100,000 Negroes on feet and horses all the way to Memphis. And I'm saying all the way, but that's not even far. You understand? You got to put that into perspective. It's 2 hours on feet and horses. Right? Okay. So put it in. So it said that this brother, read verse 25 again. This is what Jeroboam was able to do.
Verse 25. He restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath unto the sea of the plain. So he restored the coasts of Israel from the entering of Hamath to the sea of the plain. So we gonna break all that down, what that is, what that means, what that entails. All right? Just know from the bottom to the top. So now, and while he was handling business up north, Uzziah was simultaneously handling business down south, right? Southwest, I guess you could say, you know, the Philistines had their coast. So they was both going in at the same time. All right, just, you know, divided as kingdoms, but they was both doing their thing. Now, where we at? So, let's deal with the entering of Hamath. He restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath. Give me Numbers chapter 34. Numbers chapter 34 and verse 2. The book of Numbers chapter 34 and verse 2. Command the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye come into the land of Canaan, This is the land that shall fall unto you for an inheritance, even the land of Canaan with the coast thereof.
Right. So this is Moses before he, took his rest, right? Letting them know they borders, you understand, that the Lord promised to them to inherit for that time. Now jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7.
And
this shall be your north border.
So Moses is explaining what their north border shall be. So the top of Israel, right? The border, you know what I'm saying? The top border of Israel, the north border. Go ahead.
From the great sea ye shall point out for you.
So the great sea is talking about the Mediterranean Sea. All right. So the great sea, read.
From the great sea ye shall point out for you Mount Hor. From Mount Hor ye shall point out your border unto the entrance of Hamath.
So, the north border is at the entrance or the entering of Hamath. All right, go ahead.
And the goings forth of the border shall be to Zedad.
Right, and that northern border going to stretch to Zedad. So remember that. Enterings of Hamath, Zedad. Now give me the ancient map. Give me that map right there. All right. So this is during, as you can see in the legend in the bottom right-hand corner, the red line is going into what we just read. All right? What the Israelites was promised as they left out of Egypt. So now zoom out. Oh, yeah, go up. Go up. All right. So I need y'all to look at the red line at the top. So it starts at the coast, which is a coast to the Mediterranean Sea or the Great Sea. And he says it's going to stretch to Zedad, right? The enterings of Hamath, as you can see, that's where the border is at. So once you go past that border, you're entering Hamath, right? So the northern border is at the entering of Hamath to Zedad, as y'all can see. So that's way north. Now I want y'all to focus and look. Bring your mouse down to where it says Tel Dan. So look at that. So in between Tel Dan and Zedad, off to the right, you see Damascus, right? Go over to Damascus. So these is key cities to keep in mind, and just pay attention to their locations. So at the top, you see Zedad. That's supposed to be Israel's northern border as they conquer the land of Canaan, coming out of Egypt. Now pay attention to Tel Dan. Go back to Tel Dan. It's really just Dan, but I don't know why I say Tel Dan, but Dan. All right, pay attention. So, drop that. Go to Joshua 13, verse 1. So remember, that was Moses in Numbers 34 declaring unto them, right, was going to be their borders. Now watch Joshua. This is after Moses departed, and this is at the end of Joshua's life. Read.
The book of Joshua, chapter 13, and verse 1. Now Joshua was old and stricken in years. And the Lord said unto him, Thou art old and stricken in years, and there remaineth yet very much land to be possessed. This is the land that yet remaineth.
All right. So, at the time of Joshua's death, they wasn't done conquering all the lands that they would, that was listed in Numbers 34. So jump down to verse 5.
Verse 5. And the land of the Giblites and all Lebanon toward the sun rising, from Baal Gad under Mount Hermon unto the entering into Hamath.
Unto the what?
Into the entering into Hamath.
So by the end of the time of Joshua, they had not reached that border. You understand? That was planned, that was, set out for them. They had not yet reached that yet. They had not yet conquered the nations that were occupying that land. Now let's get where the Lord expounds on that. Judges chapter 3, verse 1.
The book of Judges, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan.
Right. So this new generation that didn't know the wars of Canaan, on the come up, the Lord had left Canaanites in the land. You understand? For the brothers to learn war. Jump down to verse 3.
Verse 3. Namely, 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and the Zidonians, and the Hivites, that dwelt in Mount Lebanon.
So pay attention. The Hivites. The Lord left for the purpose of teaching this new generation of Israel war. One of the Canaanite peoples he left were the Hivites. Read.
That dwelt in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal Hermon unto the entering in of Hamath.
To the entering in of Hamath. So remember, that's supposed to be the northern border, but they had not yet established that. The Lord had left nations occupying that land, in particular the Hivites, in order for Israel to learn war. All right, so give me the 7 nations of Canaan. Give me that map. Let's see where the Hivites at. Now remember Dan on the map that we showed at first. It was a good little distance from the entering in of Hamath. All right. Matter of fact, put it back up one more time. Put it back up one more time. Because it's going to be hard trying to remember maps. So I'm going to give y'all key things. Zoom in to where Dan at. So where it says Sea of Kinnereth. You see that? That little circle right there is actually Galilee. The Sea of Galilee. All right? So where you see that dark circle that's beside the Sea of Kinnereth, that's the Sea of Galilee. So go back. Now notice, remember, Damascus is up higher out to the right. And then north of that is Zedad, or the entering in of Hamath, where our northern border is supposed to be. So now go to the 7 nations of Canaan map. All right. So now you see where zoom in, where it say Girgashites. So you see that circle right there? That's where the previous map had the Sea of Kinnereth, or what will later be known as the Sea of Galilee. That's where you see the word Girgashites is where Dan, around where Dan was at. Now, remember, the entering in of Hamath was a good distance north of that. So who is in the way? Just like we read in Judges 3, the Hivites. Now notice, beside the Hivites, which you see up to the right of them, Arameans, or Arameans. I like that one better, Arameans. All right? Arameans. Now go to 2 Kings chapter 13, verse 17.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 13 and verse 17. And he said, open the window eastward. And he opened it. Then Elisha said, shoot. And he shot. And he said, the arrow of the Lord's deliverance, and the arrow of deliverance from Syria, for thou shalt smite the Syrians in Aphek, till thou have consumed them.
So remember Aphek remember this for later. We went over it last time, but I'm not reading it for storytelling purposes right now. I just wanted the verse. And notice it says, deliverance from Syria, thou shalt smite the Syrians. Now give me the Bible hub. 2 Kings 13, 17. All right, now you just read the top one, New International Version.
Yes, sir. New International. Open the east window, he said, and he opened it. Shoot. Elisha said, and he shot. The Lord's arrow of victory, the arrow of victory over Aram.
Over who?
Over Aram.
Go ahead.
Elisha declared, you will completely destroy the Arameans at Aphek.
So Syria is synonymous with Aram. Syrians is synonymous with Arameans. Because Aram is one of the sons of Shem, one of the brothers to our forefather Arphaxad. That's the son of Shem that we came from. So Aram was Arphaxad's brother. All right? That's where Jacob, remember, he went to serve Laban the Syrian or the Aramean. You understand? All right. So from there, go to 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 3. So I'm painting a picture, right? In Numbers, he telling you that Moses is telling us that your northern border will be the entering in of Hamath, right? Zedad and all that up there. Basically, where Syria, you understand, was supposed to be the border of Syria. The Lord leaves the Hivites there during the time of basically post-Joshua, Judges. So we have not yet obtained that, and we never established that northern border at the entering in of Hamath yet. You understand? So now we're going to the time of David. So read that 2 Samuel 8, verse 3.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 8 and verse 3. David smote also Hadadezer, the son of Rahab, king of Zobah, as he went to recover his border at the river Euphrates.
At the what?
At the river Euphrates.
At the river Euphrates. Why is it saying that David went to recover his border at the river Euphrates? Hold that. Get Genesis chapter 15, verse 18. So, it's a difference between the land that we were ordained to get after we left out of Egypt. That's in Numbers 34 and in the book of Joshua. And what the Lord promised to Abraham. There is a difference. All right? So watch this. Read that.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 18. In the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates.
So from the river of Egypt in Africa, all the way up to the river Euphrates. You understand? Which is the northern border of Syria. Yeah, you hear me? So that's even beyond the entering in of Hamath. Okay. So we're going to get that map in a second. I don't want to get it yet. So go back to 2 Samuel 8, read verse 4.
2 Samuel chapter 8 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
And David took from him 1,000 chariots and 700 horsemen and 20,000 footmen. And David hauled all the chariot horses, but reserved of them 400 chariots.
Come on.
And when the Syrians of Damascus came to succor Hadadezer, king of Zobah, David slew of the Syrians 22,000 men.
So remember, we talking about at the Euphrates, the border at the Euphrates. So that's Syrian territory. So the Syrians came to help the king of Zobah, right? That dwelt in that area. You understand? Their neighbor. They came to help, and David kicked their ass. Go ahead.
Then David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David.
You see that? So David put garrisons, he put military bases in Damascus. Because remember, in the ancient map, Damascus wasn't even within those borders, if y'all remember. Damascus was not within those borders of the ancient map, right? From Numbers 34. So here it says, David put garrisons in Damascus, and the Syrians what?
And the Syrians became servants to David and brought gifts.
So they became basically tributaries to David. So we had the Syrians in subjection. We began to rule over them. All right? Go ahead.
And the Lord
kind of like how the United States does with Puerto Rico. Like, Puerto Rico is not, you know what I'm saying, the U.S., but it is, but it's not, but it is type of thing. You understand? So that's the situation David had with Syria. He had control over them, right? Go ahead.
And the Lord preserved David whithersoever he went.
Mm-hmm.
And David took the shields of gold that were on the servants of Hadadezer and brought them to Jerusalem. And from Betah and from Berothah, cities of Hadadezer, King David took exceeding much brass. When Toah, king of Hamath.
King of what?
King of Hamath.
All right, so this is another king in Syria. So it was, like some civil, you know what I'm saying? We're not the only kingdom that had split kingdoms and all. You understand? So Toy is the king of Hamath, which is in Syria, but not the king who David just kicked his ass, right? So Toy, the king of Hamath, did what?
Heard that David had smitten all the host of Hadadezer. Then Toai sent Joram his son unto King David to salute him and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadadezer and smitten him. For Hadadezer had wars with Toai.
So they was into it. So Toy came to salute David like, oh, you whooped his ass. Yeah, you've been giving me problems, right? Go ahead.
And Joram brought with him vessels of silver and vessels of gold and vessels of brass.
Right. So this is really saying that he bent the knee. All right. He didn't want no smoke with David. He came like, man, I'm your buddy. I'm your pal. You handle my enemy for me. I give you presents. You understand? So this is what I'm showing y'all is David taking control or authority over Syria, which would include the entering in of Hamath. All right? Now, go to 2 Chronicles chapter 8, verse 3. So now let's go into Solomon.
The book of 2 Chronicles chapter 8 and verse 3. And Solomon went to Hamath Zobah and prevailed against it.
So remember, we saw the spirit that David had. I'm going to Euphrates, to recover our border. God promised us that, Jack, right? Solomon on the same type of time. I'm going to go to Hamath, you understand, and take what's mine. Read.
And he built Tadmor in the wilderness and all the store cities, which he built in Hamath.
So Solomon built cities in Hamath. You understand? Now, get 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 65.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 65.
Go ahead. Now, we know that under David and Solomon, we had the blessings of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. So the Lord was with us. We was conquering nations. You understand? We was doing our thing and getting what we were supposed to have to certain extents. All right? Now watch this. Read what you got.
And at that time Solomon held a feast, and all Israel with him, a great congregation, from the entering in of Hamath.
From where?
From the entering in of Hamath.
So Solomon had a feast with the nation of Israel from the entering in of Hamath. Go ahead.
Unto the river of Egypt.
Unto the river of Egypt. Now, that sounds like Genesis, closer to Genesis 15 and 18. You understand? So, from the entering in of Hamath unto the river of Egypt. Go ahead.
Before the Lord our God, 7 days and 7 days, even 14 days.
So now give me the map. All right. All right. So this is, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, say the empire of David and Solomon. All right. So it got the color codes. The purple is David's realm as king of Judah. The yellow is the realm as Israel, basically the two kingdoms. So where you see purple and yellow, that's where the 12 tribes dwelt or inhabited. The green is areas that we ruled over, that were tributaries to us. So let's go up. You zoom out real quick just to get the full scope real quick. All right, so at the bottom, hold on, go look at the left. You see where you see Amalekites at the bottom left? You see River of Egypt, right? And go to the top, zoom in. Now the red line is showing where we had power. So that's basically their jurisdiction. So you see Zadiah, right? Now remember, y'all remember Zadiah from Numbers 34. That was our border that was ordained for us. That was when we came out of Egypt. However, the Lord left the Hivites to block off where you see Dan at the bottom. You understand? That's as far as we could go. Where you see, and then where you see Mount, what they say, Mount Hermon, I believe. Yes. To the left. In the red. Yep. That's about as far as we could go coming up out of the wilderness up under Joshua. So, but we were meant to have all the way up to where you see Zedad. Go back up to Zedad. So that's what David accomplished. So we were dwelling as we were ordained coming up out of Egypt. We were dwelling all the way up to our true northern border. And we had power over the entire region of Syria all the way up to go up to the Euphrates River. Y'all see that? All right. Now, go back to 2 Kings 14:25. So zoom out. I want to show them out one more time. All right. So just so y'all can get so the entering in of Hamath is, zoom in real quick back at the north. Where you see Zedad. That's the entering in of Hamath, that region right there, the northern border. Let's scroll down to the river. All right, scroll down. Now where you see the Salt Sea. All right, no, the Salt Sea. That's Yes, that's the Jordan, not the Jordan. I'm tripping. That's the Dead Sea. All right, in the Bible it's called the Salt Sea. So the bottom of that sea. Y'all see that where it say Tamar? All right, keep that in mind. So go back to 2 Kings 14:25. So we just basically dealt with Hamath, establishing where the entering in of Hamath is, our true northern border. So read that again.
2 Kings chapter 14, verse 25. He restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath.
So Jeroboam restored the coast of Israel from the entering in of Hamath, way north, right? The border of Syria. Read.
Unto the sea of the plain.
Unto the sea of the plain. So what is the sea of the plain? Give me Bible Hub, 2 Kings 14:25. The sea of the plain. Read that.
New International.
He was the one who restored the boundaries of Israel from Lebo Hamath,
or the entering in of Hamath,
to the Dead Sea,
or the Sea of the Plain. So the Sea of the Plain is now what we know as the Dead Sea. Now give me that screenshot real quick. Or do I want? No, I don't want it yet. I don't want it. Matter of fact, I skipped something. No, I didn't. Go to Deuteronomy. Go to Deuteronomy 3:17. My fault, guys. I'm tripping. Deuteronomy 3:17. The Sea of the Plain. This is a precept. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 3 and verse 17. The plain also, and Jordan, and the coast thereof, from Chinnereth, even unto the sea of the plain.
The Sea of the Plain. Go ahead.
Even the salt sea, under Ashdoth Pisgah.
Right. So what it's doing there is explaining the border of Ammon. All right. So it says, unto the Sea of the Plain, even, meaning indeed the salt sea. So the Sea of the Plain is the salt sea. Now give me the screenshot about the Dead Sea. Read that.
The Dead Sea is referred to in the Bible as the Salt Sea.
Right. So the Sea of the Plain is the Salt Sea, which is the Dead Sea. Go ahead.
And has also been called the Sea of Sodom, the Sea of Lot, and the Stinking Sea because of the rotten egg odor created by the sulfur in the water. The sea does not play a major role in the Bible, but is referred to in Chronicles 20. Second what?
All right. You good. All right. So read 2 Kings 14:25 one more time.
2 Kings chapter 14 and verse 25. He restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath.
So way north, right at the border of Syria by Zedad. Go ahead.
Unto the Sea of the Plain.
To the bottom of the Dead Sea. He restored the coasts of Israel. Now, why does it say he restored the coasts of Israel? Go to 2 Kings chapter 10. So we read it. And by the way, go back to 2 Kings 14 to the Bible Hub. I'm skipping stuff. I'm looking at stuff. I'm skipping over stuff. Go back to 2 Kings 14:25. Now scroll down. Scroll down. So we just read, right? It says in the Bible, the entering of Hamath into the Sea of the Plain. In Deuteronomy 3 lets you know the Sea of the Plain is the Dead Sea. And no, the Salt Sea. And the Dead Sea is the Salt Sea. Now, let's see another term for it. Read that. Yeah, it don't matter.
Berean Standard. This Jeroboam restored the boundary of Israel from Lebo Hamath to the Sea of the Arabah.
To the Sea of the Arabah. So it's called the Sea of the Plain, the Salt Sea, the Dead Sea, and the Sea of the Arabah. Okay. And Arabah means desert plain. All right. I'm checking this thing up. All right, as far as how I wanted to go in perfect chronology. But I think y'all still with me, right? Okay. All right. Go to 2 Kings 10:32. So we dealing with why it says he restored the coast. So we revisiting what we went over already before. But we're going to revisit some things to fully understand why it's saying Jeroboam restored the coasts of Israel. All right? So read that. Yep.
2 Kings chapter 10 and verse 32.
Go ahead.
In those days the Lord began to cut Israel short, and Hazael smote them in all the coasts of Israel.
Right. So this is towards the end of the reign of Jehu, going into the reign of Joash, his son. All right. Joash, a.k.a. Jehoash. Same person. All right. Go ahead. From the northern kingdom, because it's southern kingdom one. The northern kingdom one. All right. Go ahead.
From Jordan eastward, all the...
So Hazael, the king of Syria, began to smote all the... Read that part again. Read again, verse 32.
Verse 32.
Uh-huh.
In those days, the Lord began to cut Israel short.
So the latter end of Jehu's reign, going into the beginning of Joash's reign, the Lord began to cut Israel short, meaning they're losing territory. Go ahead.
And Hazael smote them in all the coasts of Israel.
Hazael smote them as Elijah prophesied in 1 Kings 19. Hazael began to smote them in all the coasts of Israel. Go ahead.
From Jordan eastward, all the land of Gilead, the Gadites and the Reubenites and the Manassites, from Aurora.
So remember in Numbers 32, when they was on a side of Jordan, because as we saw the promised land, it was just on the west side of Jordan. But in Numbers 32, the Gad, Reuben, half tribe, Manasseh, they were like, damn, this land good for cattle. We got all these cattle, right? So the Lord gave them that land on the west side of Jordan. That's the land that Hazael came and took from us. Read.
From Aurora, which is by the river Arnon,
Uh-huh.
even Gilead and Bashan.
So it's Gilead and Bashan. So Bashan, associate that with Ephek. Okay? That's going to be north of Gilead on the west side of Jordan. All right? Just remember that. So, now, so I read verse 30. Now give me the days of Jehoash and Joash, the map. Okay. Here we go. So we showed y'all the map during the reign of David and Solomon, right? It went from, as y'all can see at the bottom, Arabah. Remember, you see where it say the Dead Sea at? Okay, you see below that it say Arabah. So that's the bottom of the Dead Sea. Remember, it's called the Sea of Arabah, right? So from there all the way up to about right, go up a little bit, about right there. All right? That was our God. Matter of fact, I think it was higher than that. Just west of Damascus. So yeah, it was, my bad, it was up higher than that. That's when David and Solomon had Israel dwelling. All that yellow is Syria and what they managed to take from us. So that pink, I guess you could say hot pink, go to Israel. So that's what the northern kingdom became. That's why I said the Lord began to cut Israel short. So that's what Hazael managed to take. So where you see Gilead at, go to your right, Gilead. Syria took all of that. That was Gad, Reuben, half tribe of Manasseh. That was they stuff. All the way up to where you see Bashan. Go up a little bit. You see where you see Bashan? That's ours. You understand? And you see Ephek. You see Ephek to the left, right? You see that, right? So pay attention. And beside it, you see what? The Sea of Galilee. So Syria, during Joash reign, the end of Jehu, in Joash's reign, Jehu's son, Syria managed to take all that from us. Okay. So now, go to 2 Kings 13 and verse 3.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 13 and verse 3. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, And he delivered them into the hand of Hazael, king of Syria, and into the hand of Benadad, the son of Hazael, all their days.
Right, because remember Jehu, he was zealous for the Lord to destroy the seed of Ahab, wiped them off the earth. He took care of Jezebel, knocked out the map. He went and had that big feast of Baal just so he could have all of the Baal worshipers in one place and slaughtered all their ass, like the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones. Then he turned around and worshiped the damn idols, the damn golden calves. What the hell is this? So the Lord was pissed. You understand? So what did he do? His wrath came upon the following generation. At the end of Jehu's reign and his son's reign, Jehoash. So Syria had the upper hand to where they was taking all that land from us. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And Jehoahaz besought the Lord, and the Lord hearkened unto him, for he saw the oppression of Israel, because the king of Syria oppressed them.
So remember, we went over this last time, right? Go ahead.
And the Lord gave Israel a savior, so that they went out from under the hand of the Syrians.
Right. So when it says he gave Israel a savior, what the Lord is saying, it's not saying he sent Clark Kent. It's saying that the Lord put in place a plan of salvation to recover what Syria has managed to destroy. And we touched on it last time, but today is going to come full circle, the fullness of the understanding. All right, go ahead.
And the children of Israel dwelt in their tents as before time.
So after, because he's jumping in time, this hasn't happened yet. He's just letting you know what's going to happen. The Lord is eventually going to answer Joash's prayers, but it's going to be after he's gone. You understand? So the Lord is going to have Israel dwell in their tents as before time. Keep that in mind. So we showed the map of David and Solomon's reign from the entering in of Hamath to the bottom of the Dead Sea, where you see Araba, right? Cool. So the Lord, basically, because of the prayers in our state of oppression during the reign of Joash, Syria was, you understand, doing us dirty. The Lord said, I'm going to send salvation for my people, and they will dwell in their tents as before time. Y'all with me? From there, jump down to verse 14.
Verse 14. Now Elisha was fallen sick of his sickness whereof he died. And Joash the king of Israel came down unto him, and wept over his face, and said, O my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof.
So Joash came to visit Elisha while Elisha was on his deathbed. So we went over this last time. Elisha told the brother, grab a bow and some arrows, right? Read verse 17.
Verse 17. And he said, open the window eastward. And he opened. Then Elisha said, shoot. And he shot.
Read.
And he said, the arrow of the Lord's deliverance, and the arrow of deliverance from Syria.
Right. So these arrows that you're shooting is representing the deliverance of Israel from Syria. Go ahead.
For thou shalt smite the Syrians in Aphek.
In where?
In Aphek.
In where?
In Aphek.
In Aphek. Go ahead.
Till thou have consumed them.
So put the map up again. So this is during the time of Joash. All right. This is what he will be able to do. So I was butchering the names, y'all. So Jehu's son is named Jehoaz. All right. So his son Jehoash, or Joash is who we read about now. I hate when I do that. Because I don't like when people do it. Because I be knowing what they mean. I'm like, people get confused. All right? Okay. So Jehoash is the one that was king when Hazael was taking all of the land from the northern kingdom and the whole entire Gilead in Bashan. Everything east of Jordan, right? Jehoash took that whole his whole reign, but he the one that prayed to the Lord and the Lord heard him. So his son Jehoash, or Joash, when he visited Elisha on his deathbed, Elisha told him, get the bow and arrows or whatever, and this is going to represent the Lord's deliverance from Syria. And he started shooting the bows. Elisha said, you're going to smite Syria even unto Aphek. So now, when you look at Aphek right there, that ain't up to the entering in of Hamath, but it is, there's some good ground. You understand? Now, read verse 18.
Verse 18. And he said, take the arrows. And he took them. And he said unto the king of Israel, smite upon the ground. And he smote thrice and stayed.
Right. So remember, these arrows represents the Lord's deliverance from Israel. So he tell him, keep shooting. The brother shoot 3 times and stop. I guess his arm got tired or something. Well, he didn't want to keep wasting his arrows. So he just shot 3 times and stopped. Go ahead.
And the man of God was wroth with him.
And Elisha got pissed. Bro, why you stop? What are you doing? Go ahead.
And said, thou shouldest have smitten 5 or 6 times.
You should have shot 5, 6 of them. Read.
Then hadst thou smitten Syria till thou hast consumed
You
it.
would have been able to take back the whole Syria during your lifetime. If you would have shot at least 5 or 6, you're going to stop at 3. The hell is this? Go ahead.
Whereas now thou shalt smite Syria but thrice.
But you only going to smite Syria 3 times. So you're only going to do so much in your time. That's what Elisha is saying. So jump down to verse 25.
Verse 25. And Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, took again out of the hand of Benadad, the son of Hazael, the cities, which he had taken out of the hand of Jehoahaz, his father, by war. 3 times did Joash beat him and recovered the cities of Israel.
Right, so he didn't manage to take it all back, but he got as far as Aphek. Put the map back up, like Elisha told him. So the yellow is what all Syria managed to take from us, right? From above Damascus and then down, but a lot of that to the right is Syria, beyond our borders. But from, if you stay left of Damascus, start at the top, and stay left of Damascus, like come straight down. Yep, and then kind of veer right. Go back up. Look at Bashan. So start where you at and come down. Kind of veer right. There you go. So all of that encompasses what Syria took from us. You understand? So we had to take that all back. Now, go to where we at? Amos 1:1.
The book of Amos, chapter 1.
So I read 2 Kings 14:25. One more time. One more time.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 14 and verse 25. He restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath.
So what is this letting you know about Jeroboam? And this is probably why, again, he only got 5, 6 verses in this joint. Because what he did was absolutely great, fascinating, that amount of conquest and war and conquering is crazy. You understand? But it was just the Lord answering Jehoahaz's prayer. I'm going to give you back what Syria took. Not because you righteous or anything, but because I see y'all oppression and I ain't with it. You understand? So Joash, he only shot the arrow 3 times, so Elisha said, all right, you only going to do so much. So Jeroboam the second would come and finish the job that the Lord had ordained for Israel, because remember it said that they would dwell in their tents as before time, meaning like y'all did under David and Solomon, from the entering in of Hamath all the way down to the Sea of Araba, the Dead Sea, the Salt Sea. Okay. Now, go to Amos 1:1.
The book of Amos, chapter 1 and verse 1. The words of Amos, who was among the herdmen of Tekoa, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam.
See, I just did that. I didn't have to do that because I was going to do that. Like, what is going on? I ain't getting no sleep. That's what it is. I ain't able to bring it out how I really wanted to give a clean, crisp understanding. But if you with me, you with me, though. So read again, Amos 1:1.
The words of Amos, who was among the herdmen of Tekoa, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, 2 years before the earthquake.
Right. So we'll deal with that next time as far as the earthquake thing. But it says, in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash. So that's talking about Jeroboam the second, who we're reading about, right? Now, jump down to verse 3.
Verse 3.
Come on.
Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Damascus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have threshed Gilead with threshing instruments of iron.
Remember, threshed means thrashed. How we familiar with, man? That man thrash over. So the Lord said for Damascus, talking about Syria, which was what? The throne of Hazael. Remember what he did? He smote all the coast of Israel. He took the whole damn east side of Jordan. So the Lord said, for all that, since you threshed Gilead, you thrashed them, read verse 4.
But I will send a fire into the house of Hazael, which shall devour the palaces of Benadad.
I'm going to send a fire into the house of Hazael, meaning he going to put the spirit of the northern kingdom to be able to go and thrash back. You understand? So this is how Jeroboam had his success. All right, go ahead.
I will break also the bar of Damascus, and cut off the inhabitant from the plain of Avon,
Read.
and him that holdeth the scepter from the house of Eden. And the people of Syria shall go into captivity unto Kir, saith the Lord.
Lord's willing, we get to that next time. Is where that was fulfilled later. All right, that's going to be fulfilled later. Now, go to chapter 7 and verse 10.
The book of Amos, chapter 7 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
Then Amaziah, the priest of Bethel, sent to Jeroboam, king of Israel, saying, Amos hath conspired against thee in the midst of the house of Israel. The land is not able to bear all his words.
So Amos, and we're going to get into what all he was saying, what all he was bringing out. Amos is prophesying throughout the northern kingdom of Israel. Amaziah goes to slander him to the king, you understand, for the king to do something about it. So he go and tell the king, Amos has conspired against you. You understand? Same thing they're going to do to us. Try to make it seem like, some treasonous insurrection type of movement or whatever. Sedition against the government. Man, but you understand, that's what the lengths that they're going to go to try to knock us off the map. So he trying to report treason on Amos for prophesying, telling the people what it is, what it's going to be. Go ahead.
For thus Amos saith, Jeroboam shall die by the sword, and Israel shall surely be led away captive out of their own land.
Right. So, you know how people be saucing stuff up. He didn't say all that. He never said Jeroboam was going to die by the sword. But he did prophesy if the northern kingdom of Israel did not repent, they would go into captivity. We're going to read that. All right? But this is the accusations that Amaziah bringing forth to the king concerning Amos. Read.
Also Amaziah said unto Amos.
And this is what Amaziah said directly to Amos. Read.
O thou seer, go, flee thee away into the land of Judah.
Get your ass, go to Judah. They got Levites. Uzziah here, king, he followed God. Go there. Go ahead.
And there eat bread and prophesy there.
Prophesy there. They would like you. We don't want you here. Remember in verse 10, Amaziah was a priest of Bethel. You understand? He was an idolatrous priest. Man, get your ass out of here. You understand? So now jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Now therefore hear thou the word of the Lord. Thou sayest, prophesy not against Israel, and drop not thy word against the house of Isaac.
So y'all say, don't prophesy against Israel. Don't drop your word. That's what it is. That's what we do. When we come, bring the gospel, bring the prophecy, we dropping the word on there. But y'all say, drop not thy word. Drop a mixtape. Drop an album. Drop a extendo clip in your Glock. That's what y'all want to drop. Don't drop the word, though. That's what y'all say. Go ahead.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city.
Guess what, Amaziah? Your wife going to be a hoe in the city. Read.
And thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword.
Damn.
And thy land shall be divided by line. And thou shalt die in a polluted land.
Sheesh.
And Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land.
So just so y'all can understand, I want y'all to get a clear understanding. I'm telling you, this is going to put things in perspective as to why we deserved captivity. We was already wicked as hell. We never had a good Northern Kingdom king. They all worshiped idols. When after Jehu did what he did, he was on a good start, and then plummeted back into idolatry. The Lord got pissed. He let Hazael do his thing, right? Hazael going too far. The people oppressed. Jehoaz break down, cry to the Lord. The Lord hear it. He like, I ain't saving you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna die suffering the loss of all them cities, but your son, I'm going to allow him to go and take some cities back to the extent of Aphek. His son, Jeroboam, he going to come finish the job, and Israel will dwell in their tents as aforetime. Meaning from the entering in of Hamath unto the bottom of the Dead Sea, as aforetime when David and Solomon had the kingdom. Now, you would think that the Lord doing this would propel a sense of repentance for the northern kingdom. Like the Lord blessed us. We got all this land back all the way up to the entering in of Hamath. You understand? And remember, I don't want to jump the gun, so I'll mention it later. All right, so go back to 2 Kings 14. Read verse 28 now.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 14 and verse
I
28.
done jumped the gun a few times already. I read that.
Now the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, and all that he did, and his might, how he warred, and how he recovered Damascus and Hamath, which belonged to Judah, for Israel. Are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel?
Right. So it says Jeroboam, all that he did in his might and how he warred. Remember, he reigned 41 years. It's not overnight that you're able to take back all that. Put that map up one more time. I want to show y'all what Syria took. All right, that little pink portion is what Northern Kingdom had left after Hazael did all of his smiting. You see where Gilead and Bashan is? All of that was Gad, Reuben, and Manasseh. He took all that. To the left, you're all the way up to where you see Phoenicia at, to the right of Phoenicia. All of that was ours, all the way up past where the picture stopped at to Hamath. All that was ours. Syria took all that. Jehoash got as far as Aphek. So Jeroboam, put the mouse on Aphek. Jeroboam did his thing and got. Now give me the next map. I'm going to show y'all what he was able to get back, what he was able to complete. It was all of the Lord. It wasn't his might. That's why he don't got much written about him. Okay? So this is, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, Israel and Judah at the time of Jeroboam the second. Okay? Now, mind you, like was what we're going to go over next time. You see Judah, the hot pink. Uzziah was simultaneously doing his thing, smiting the Philistines and getting power over Edom and all of that. So the southern kingdom is doing the same thing the northern kingdom is doing. Difference is they was serving the Lord. All right? And look at the dark green. So from Samaria all the way to Bashan. You see Gilead, Bashan, right? We got all that back from Syria during the time of Joash, the son of Jehoash, and Jeroboam the second. Go up to where you see, to the left. To Dan, go up to where you see that red, where it say Mount Hermon. That's the entering in of Hamath. All right. Now, the light green is in the bottom key. It tell you lands governed by Israel. So not only did Jeroboam restore our borders as far as our dwellings, but he conquered and took control of Syria as David did. He put them in subjection and made them tributaries, vassal nations. Jeroboam did that because the Lord ordained it. Not because he was righteous, not because he was powerful and mighty and all that. But I'm pretty sure to the masses, oh, you're Jeroboam here. No. All right? But that's what he was able to do because the Lord said that they would dwell in their tents as aforetime. If you can, real quick, just pull up the reign of David and Solomon. The red lines and the territories where we have power over is very similar, if not identical, because 2 Kings 13 and 5. They would dwell in their tents as aforetime. The reign of David and Solomon, the map that we showed earlier. Yep. Y'all see that? Very similar, if not identical. The red lines, the green, you understand? The yellow, the purple. Judah took more territory under Uzziah as far as dwelling. But we had control over all of that. So Jeroboam was able to restore this. All right? This amount of power. Jeroboam did that. Because the Lord ordained it. Okay? Now, this is what I want to put into perspective. But we're going to start with reading Who's Who in the Bible, page 206, dealing with Jeroboam II. Read.
13th king, Jeroboam II, 13th king of Israel after the monarchy split. He reigned 783 to 43 BC. He was the son of Joash and the fourth ruler of the dynasty founded by Jehu. After a period of decline, Joash had started to recover some of the territory lost to Israel's northern neighbor and hereditary enemy.
So we read about that in 2 Kings 13:25. He recovered some of the cities. Go ahead.
The kingdom of Aram, or Syria, with its capital at Damascus. Jeroboam continued this expansion.
Jeroboam continued this expansion. He picked up the torch, read.
Until his northern and eastern borders again reached those carved out by King David.
Y'all see that? That's that restoration. That's that re-expansion. He was able to restore Israel to the borders that was carved out by King David. Okay, that's some mighty. You got to be mighty to do that. Go ahead.
When Israelite power had been at its peak.
So he was able to restore the territory of Israel to the same as when the power of the kingdom was at its peak. Woo! Go ahead.
Jeroboam's control extended in Transjordan from Hamath, northern Syria, down to the Dead Sea. At the same time, the sister kingdom of Judah also expanded.
Right. So while he was doing his thing, recovering the east side of Jordan, Gilead and Bashan, all the way up to Hamath, way up north. Southern kingdom was doing their thing down south under Uzziah. Go ahead.
Regaining control of Edom on both sides of the Wada Araba down to the Gulf of Aqaba.
Read.
Jeroboam's conquests were accompanied by a marked rise in living standards and a burst of constructive energy within the kingdom. He added new buildings to the hilltop capital of Samaria, which Omri had founded almost a century earlier.
So you see it bring up Omri, that guy. Again, he is prominent in the carnal history of Israel, particularly the northern kingdom. He is famous. Other nations got him in their books because he was able to make Samaria a thriving city, a northern version of Jerusalem. For real. So Jeroboam II is doing the like. He is doing like, he conquering all these lands. He is building, he's adding to Samaria. It's a lot of thriving going on, right? Go ahead.
The prophet Amos railed against the luxury and selfishness of the well-to-do class.
So we got to understand, put it into perspective, right? Real quick, David, pull up the map, the days of Joash and Jehoash. Just real quick. This is when Syria smoked the coast of Israel. Okay? So I want y'all to focus on the yellow. All right? What Syria was able to take from us, where them arrows at. All right? Now give me the reign of Jeroboam II. I want y'all to see the difference. The green is the difference. That's a lot of damn land. That's a lot of land. Guess what come with conquering lands, guys. Spoils. I say it like that as if I said fat, I would say spurls. Y'all don't understand what that means. Spoils. You understand? When you conquer lands and defeat them, you take their gold, silver, their precious things, resources, so on and so forth. So what is he doing? Now, mind you, his headquarters is in Bethel, where they serve idols. They wicked as hell. He don't got to leave. He not serving God at all. So he doesn't have the morale that is given in the law of Moses. So what the hell you think you're doing with all the riches, the spoils that he's getting from defeating the Syria? All that land he get back. Read that again what Amos said.
The prophet Amos railed against the luxury and selfishness of the well-to-do class and its lack of concern for the poor.
So when he turned up and got all that land back, he made the rich richer. The highborns, you understand? He made them richer. You understand? And he made Northern Kingdom luxurious. It became a place of luxury for those that were highborn, those that were important. Go ahead.
He also attacked the false sense of security that arose from the lack of outside pressure.
Because the Lord eased it up because of the prayer of Jehoaz. You understand? So the Lord promised for Israel to recover those cities that was lost. So the Lord put the spirit on the nations to chill. But Northern Kingdom decided to chill too. Like, it couldn't have been no pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, Amos like, why y'all acting like it's all damn peaches and cream around this joint? Y'all should be in fear for the well-being of the nation because y'all transgressing against God, and these nations can and will come and give y'all the business. Thrash your ass. After you done all this, you done got all this land back, you can lose it right back. Go ahead.
Woe to those who are at ease in Zion, and to those who feel secure on the mountain of Samaria.
So his quote name is 6-1, and we're going to get to that in a second. Go ahead.
His prediction of pending disaster came true a generation later when Samaria was taken by an invading Assyrian army, and the kingdom of Israel came to an end.
Damn! Was that it? Go ahead.
Jeroboam died after 41 years on the throne and was succeeded by his son, Zechariah.
All right, that was it. All right, now watch this. Go to Amos 2, verse 6. So we touched on in the beginning, just to give y'all an idea of what was happening in the northern kingdom of Israel during the reign of Jeroboam II. Right? Because it said he did evil in the sight of the Lord. There was no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. So what Amos does, what you're going to see in the book of Amos, is he airing it all out in detail what was going on during the reign of Jeroboam at the time of its success, when he done conquered all these nations, got all these spoils, and enriched the land and made the rich richer, and they're propped up in luxury. You understand? This is the point in which Amos is airing it all out. Watch this.
Amos chapter 2 and verse 6. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Israel.
So this Israel is talking about the northern kingdom, because verse 4, a couple of verses up, is addressing Judah. So this is talking about Ephraim, the northern kingdom. Read.
And for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they sold the righteous for silver and the poor for a pair of shoes.
They oppressed the poor. They oppressed the poor of the people. Like when you watch Game of Thrones, for example, in King's Landing, in basically the community of, the king and all of that, there was the upper echelon. But when you go a little deeper, it's just like Washington, D.C. It's the nation's capital. And you go a few blocks outside of that joint, and you in the slums. That's what you saw on Game of Thrones. It was no different in the nation of Israel. So you had, remember, they eating good. They conquering all these, all these lands back, getting all these spoils, bringing it back and enriching the land. However, the poor, they not giving, they not, they not blessing the poor with their victories, but rather oppressing them. Go ahead. Yeah.
That verse 7, that pant after the dust of the earth on the head of the poor.
Damn.
And turn aside the way of the meek. And a man and his father will go in unto the same maid to profane my holy name.
So, Northern Kingdom, bro, they was wicked as hell. So they was on some Edomite type of time. That's some Game of Thrones type of stuff. Now, it ain't, Cersei and whatever. It ain't the twin incest. But damn it, that's nasty. You and your father smashing the same woman. So what do you see? Oppression of the poor, perversion of God's laws, perversion of judgments for reward, and sexual immorality is running rampant. While they're getting blessed by God to get all these lands back, this is how they're recompensing the blessing. This is how they... This is what they throw in the Lord's face. Thank you, Lord. Run the train, you and your daddy run the train on a Harley. The hell is this? That's what we were doing. You gotta put it. I'm trying to put it into y'all, but to really comprehend. I'm telling you, when you really get in these scriptures and examine our history and just try to think based on what you see how people do today, we are no different. We're the same people. The difference was they was in the land. They knew our God. Yes, they ass deserved captivity. We deserved it. I'm telling you. We deserve that shit. For real, though. All right, go ahead.
Verse 8. And they lay themselves down upon clothes laid to pledge by every altar. And they drink the wine of the condemned. And they drink the wine of the condemned in the house of their God.
They drink the wine of the condemned. What that's talking about is the wine that they able to... what's the word? Basically purchase from the finessing and oppressing of the poor. You understand? That's why it says the wine of the condemned. The wine that the amount of wine they're able to accumulate from oppressing the poor people, they are getting drunk from it in the house of their idols. That's what God is saying. That's what they were doing. Wicked. Now jump down to verse 11.
Verse 11. And I raise up of your sons for prophets, and of your young men for Nazarites. Is it not even thus, O ye children of Israel?
Now remember, in the covenant of the Nazarites, they was to be pure. Never drink wine, never shave their head, so on and so forth, right? Go ahead.
Saith the Lord. But ye gave the Nazarites wine to drink.
But y'all niggas gave the Nazarites wine to drink. Y'all got them breaking their damn vows. Go ahead.
And commanded the prophets, saying, prophesy not.
Like we just read in chapter 7. That's what Amaziah literally told, hey, man, take that shit to Judah. Take your ass down south. We don't want you up here. Drop not thy word against the house of Isaac. Go ahead.
Behold, I am pressed unto you, As a cart is pressed that is full of sheaves.
You see that? The Lord said, I am pressed under you. I am pressed under you. That's how they treated God. That's how they treated the laws of God. You understand? It was pressed under them. That's like a damn doormat. You understand? Damn, just walking all over the Lord. He blessing them. He saved them from the hand of all that land they got back. They was dwelling in their tents as before time at the peak of the power of the kingdom. And we didn't have not a soul as righteous as David, nowhere near. The Lord gave them that, and that's how they repaid him. The Lord was pressed under them. Go ahead.
Therefore, the flight shall perish from the swift, and the strong shall not strengthen his force.
So, because you got to imagine, for them to conquer all that land, they had it was the Lord, though. It was the Spirit of the Lord working in them. But you got to think in their mind, hell, the damn calf gave me this strength. So yeah, they got the finest warriors at that time. Talking about Usain Bolt speed, faster, like a deer. Damn strong ass, you know what I'm saying? God said, guess what? Since I'm pressed under you, you don't want to serve me after I done blessed you the way that I did. The flight shall perish from the swift, meaning he gonna lose his speed. The strong shall not strengthen his force. Go ahead.
Neither shall the mighty deliver himself.
The mighty man that did all that conquering before, he ain't gonna be able to deliver himself. Go ahead.
Neither shall he stand that handleth the bow.
The man that handleth the bow that been dropping all them bodies on point. He ain't gonna stand either. Read.
And he that is swift of foot shall not deliver himself.
Read.
Neither shall he that rideth the horse deliver himself.
The horsemen, they not going to deliver themselves. Go ahead.
And he that is courageous among the mighty.
The bravest among your warriors. The war captains, the war heroes that caught many bodies on y'all conquest to recover the cities from Assyria. All them brothers. Read.
Shall flee away naked. And that day, saith the Lord.
Damn. Oh, my God. Go to Amos 3, verse 9.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 9.
Yeah.
Publish in the palaces at Ashdod, and in the palaces in the land of Egypt, and say, assemble yourselves upon the mountains of Samaria, and behold, the great tumults in the midst thereof, and the oppressed in the midst thereof.
Right. So look at what's going on in Samaria. Great tumults, going into riots. The reveling they was doing, worshiping their guys, the getting drunk, the orgies. You understand? And the oppressed in the midst thereof. They got all this money, all this excess of wine and all that, while this people completely impoverished. Suffering, being taken advantage of. Look at this. This is a serious transgression. Matter of fact, we're going to read it. Keep reading.
Verse 10. For they know not to do right, saith the Lord, who store up violence and robbery in their palaces.
Who do what?
Who store up violence and robbery in their palaces.
That's what they was doing. That's what the northern kingdom was doing. It's one thing to spur the nations, but they was robbing the people. The people they could take advantage of, they was taking advantage of them and adding to the riches that they had. America do the same thing to us. That's how we got here, fellas. The Lord gave us up to the fruit of our doings. You understand? For real. Go ahead.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, an adversary there shall be even round about the land, and he shall bring down thy strength from thee, and thy palaces shall be spoiled.
So just like Jeremiah and them prophesied the siege to happen to Babylon. Happen to Judah from Babylon. Amos doing the same thing. How we going over the book of Jeremiah on giving a sense, the nation gonna come from the north and surround your gates and all that, besiege you. Amos saying the same thing. An adversary is gonna come round about the land, meaning you're gonna be besieged by an enemy, and he's gonna bring down your strength, and your palace is gonna be spoiled. All this wealth y'all done accumulated, all of these renovations, you understand? It's gonna be taken right back. You just got it back, and it's gonna be taken right back from you. You understand? Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, as the shepherd taketh out of the mouth of the lion 2 legs, or a piece of an ear, so shall the
wait. As the shepherd taketh out of the mouth of the lion 2 legs, or a piece of an ear. Like a shepherd, right? Their job is to protect the sheep. A lion gets a hold of a sheep. A shepherd trying to pull the sheep out the lion's mouth only managed to pull 2 legs. Lion got the rest. So peep the analogy. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, as the shepherd taketh out of the mouth of the lion 2 legs, or a piece of an ear, so shall the children of Israel be taken out that dwell in Samaria, in the corner of a bed, and in Damascus in a couch.
And y'all gonna understand why he bringing up the bed and the couch, because it's going into them living comfortably and luxuriously and all that. You relaxed, wicked ass Israelites is just lounging in your beautiful kingdom. Y'all ass gonna be snatched up out of that kingdom. You understand? Go ahead.
Hear ye, and testify in the house of Jacob, saith the Lord God, the God of hosts, that in the day that I shall visit the transgressions of Israel upon him, I will also visit the altars of Bethel. And the horns of the altar shall be cut off and fall to the ground. And I will smite the winter house with the summer house, and the houses of ivory shall perish, and the great houses shall have an end, saith the Lord.
So we finna show y'all what they was doing. I wish you could Google it. Can you Google ancient winter house? Now, the Lord is saying, it's the reason why he's saying his judgment right here. I'm going to smite the winter house with the summer house. What do you think is the difference between a winter house and a summer house? Watch this. Read that in the Zondervan. Watch this.
Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 606. Winter house. The wealthy had separate residences for hot and cold seasons.
Do y'all hear this? Mind you, under Jehoahaz, they was getting their ass kicked and getting all this. They lost the whole Gilead and Bashan. You understand? They whole northern region got taken, conquered, smitten. They went from that super low oppressed state, oppressed by the Syrians. The Lord, here they present oppression. Like, all right, y'all gonna dwell in y'all tents like a fort time. I'm gonna let y'all to get all that back. They get it all back. And they decide to build luxurious. They went from being oppressed by the Syrians to having multiple mansions. One for this season, one for that season. You can't make this up. Pull that up, man. A winter house. Give me, I like the one in the middle. All right. A winter house, a winter cabin. You understand? Nice, spacious, comfortable. Now, try to Google a summer house, an ancient summer house. Did you finish that in the Zonovan?
Yes, sir.
I think it was more. That was it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, separate houses that the wealthy had for different seasons. Sheesh. Now, under Solomon, because he had the same thing. But we were serving the Lord. You understand? But these wicked MFers right here. Give me, hold on, scroll up. Yeah, give me like the one on the water right there. Yeah. This is an example of a, yeah, give me that one. This is an example of a summer house. Like somewhere nice on the water, you know what I'm saying? Dock, you know, with a dock and all that. So they were balling out. The Lord said, I'm going to smite the winter house with the summer house like a damn tornado can pick up a house and drop it on another one. That's what the Lord said he was going to do. I'm going to destroy your damn mansions, one with the other, damn it. Nah. All right, so now go to Amos 4, verse 1. We almost done.
The book of Amos, chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear this word, ye kine of Bashan, that are in the mountain of Samaria, which oppress the poor.
They do what?
Which oppress the poor, which crush the needy, which say to their masters, bring and let us drink.
Always drinking, like you've seen in Game of Thrones, right? Go ahead.
The Lord God hath sworn by his holiness that, lo, the day shall come upon you, that he will take you away with hooks, and your posterity with fish hooks.
So this is Amos prophesying while they living it up, living luxury. He said the Father gonna take y'all up out of this land with hooks and fish hooks. Now that's pretty bizarre. Let's see what he's talking about. Did it come to pass? Give me that image real quick. Give me that image. This is what the Assyrians did to our people. It's a precept in Jeremiah, or is it Ezekiel? Let me find it real quick. Yeah, man, that's what the Assyrians and Amos prophesied it while they was living luxuriously in they kingdom that the Lord blessed them to have. Said, all right, you're going to get carried out of this land with hooks and fish hooks. Now, notice that spirit, he putting it through the brother eye, blinding them. You understand? Our people really went through that. Because they hearing the prophet warn them, and they said, get out of here, boy. Get the hell out of here. Go to Ezekiel 30. Ezekiel. Let me see. Ezekiel 29. Ezekiel 29 and verse, what do I want, 38? 38 and 4.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 38 and verse.
This ain't what I want. I feel like it's when either Ezekiel or Jeremiah that go with Amos. They got Jeremiah what? Nah, that ain't it. All right, all praise. Y'all get the point. This is what Amos was talking about. Put it on the screen one more time. The Lord said, I'm going to carry you out with hooks, fish hooks. All right? Yes, them fringes. That's our people being taken. All right? Now watch this. Go to Amos 5. Amos chapter 5, verse 4.
The book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 4. For thus saith the Lord unto the house of Israel, seek ye me, and ye shall live.
So Amos, where the Lord is pleading with them through Amos, seek me and ye shall live. I didn't restore the coast of Israel to y'all for y'all to just go right, lose it all right back and go into captivity. Seek me and you will live. Go ahead.
But seek not Bethel.
Seek not Bethel. Read.
Nor enter into Gilgal, and pass not to Beersheba. For Gilgal shall surely go into captivity, and Bethel shall come to naught.
Because these were strong cities, or so they thought, where you get secure, you had the strong warriors, you know what I'm saying? That was there to secure the land and all of that. You think if something go down, we hear about some invaders, we just flee to those lands and we'll be all right. Lord said, no, don't seek that. Seek me. Because Bethel going to come to naught. Gilgal going to go into captivity. Go ahead.
Seek the Lord, and ye shall live.
Seek the Lord, and you'll live. Come on.
Lest he break out like fire in the house of Joseph, and devour it. And there be none to quench it in Bethel.
And there should be none to quench it in Bethel. Jump down to verse 10. Watch this.
Verse 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
So Amos, because we read this a lot, Amos is prophesying and he bringing it out. And we read the account of it literally happening to him. And Messiah said, oh, thou seer, go to Judah. Get out of here. We don't want to hear that prophesied there. He telling the king, man, it was conspiring against you. You understand? They hated them that tried to save them. Like, listen, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. The Lord gonna jack us up. Jeroboam, he hated that. His servants, the priests of Bethel, they hated that. Go ahead.
For as much, therefore, as your treading is upon the poor.
Because that's what they was doing, treading on the poor. Read.
And ye take from him burdens of wheat. Ye have built houses of hewn stone.
So you taking from the poor and use that to build you houses of hewn stone. You understand? Nice, strong, fortified cribs. Hell, multiple for different seasons. Summer houses and winter houses. Go ahead.
But ye shall not dwell in them.
But guess what? Y'all ain't going to dwell in them. Go ahead.
Ye have planted pleasant vineyards. But ye shall not drink wine of them.
It's only so long. Y'all, right now, you got to think how this sounded. Because at that time, they dwelling in them houses. They drinking that wine on a day-to-day like it's nothing. And it's like, all right, y'all going to see. It's going to be no more. It's all going to disappear. Like it was a dream. You're going to wake up the way you know what I'm saying? Don't want to. Read.
For I know your manifold transgressions and your mighty sins.
Your what?
Your mighty sins.
Your mighty sins. So what he finna name are mighty sins. Read.
They afflict the just.
They do what?
They afflict the just.
That is a mighty sin. To afflict the just. You know a person is right, a person is innocent, and you choose to afflict them. That's wicked as hell. That is a mighty sin. Go ahead.
They take a bribe.
They do what?
They take a bribe.
They take a bribe. I don't care if he's innocent. He don't got no money. But the person accusing you, for whatever reason, he does. Or somebody robbed you, did something violent to you, kill one of your people, whatever, and you're seeking justice, guess what? He got some bread. I'm going to let him go. Take that up with your guy. For real. Go ahead.
And they turn aside the poor in the gate from their right.
So if the poor comes to the gate for judgment, hey, I need help, such and such is happening. My kid is starving. I got this stolen from me. Man, get your ass out. You ain't got no money. We ain't trying to hear it. You ain't breaking bread. We ain't trying to hear it. That's what they was doing. God said those are mighty sins. Now let's see what else. Verse 26.
Verse 26.
Uh-huh.
But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Molech, and Chion, your images,
Read.
the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves.
You see that? So, the oppression of the people, taking bribes, perverting judgment, the sexual immorality, a man and his son smashing the same woman, the drunkenness. You understand? And to top it all off, graven images, idol worship. Wicked as hell. Them might as well be some damn Edomite. I'm telling you. Wicked as hell. So watch this. Go ahead.
Therefore will I cause you to go into captivity beyond Damascus, saith the Lord, whose name is the God of hosts.
I'm going to cause you to go into captivity beyond Damascus. Remember where Damascus was? It was like to the northeast of Israel. I'm going to cause you to go into captivity beyond. What was the nation beyond Damascus? On the other side of the Euphrates. Assyria. So this is Amos prophesying this. Sidebar. If this is God's chosen people, right? That he just helped and allowed to conquer all of these nations or whatever. And he's saying the judgment, y'all gonna get snatched out of the land. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna talk about the death toll he promised too in a second. You know, captivity, all of that. For the idols and all of that. And the bribe, the perversion of judgment, the sexual immorality. If he did that to his chosen people, what in the hell y'all think finna happen to America? For real, Jeroboam II and the people, this is the beginning of the doomsday clock for the Northern Kingdom. It's only a couple of more classes we'll be dealing with their kings because they will have no more in a second. You understand? This is the beginning of the end for them. So what in the hell you think finna happen to America? You gotta, I'm telling you, just think that's, if you study and you really understand the scriptures, it's no way that the narrative pushed in Christianity can be true. Destruction is coming to this land. Captivity is headed Edom's way. If God's people had to go into captivity, what the hell? How the white man going to avoid this judgment? Tell you, you study to show yourself, prove it all makes it's Revelation 13 and 10 must happen. You understand? But that's the sidebar. So now, Amos 6, verse 1.
The book of Amos, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Come on.
Woe to them that are at ease in Zion, and trust in the mountain of Samaria.
So, because in Judah too, they was tripping too after Uzziah. And, you know, Uzziah kind of tweaked. But after him, they started tripping. Now, because they was doing the same thing that Northern Kingdom did. Remember, and we going to deal with it next time, Lord's willing, but Uzziah, he did the same thing. He conquered and strengthened himself or whatever. Then he got lifted up with pride. The Northern Kingdom, you understand, like we read in the Who's Who, Jeroboam is doing like what Omri did, you know, fancying the land up, making palaces and all type of stuff, right? So this goes back to what we read that Amos was airing them out on, calling them out. Listen, y'all think y'all in paradise, huh? Okay. Woe unto them that are at ease and trust in the mountain of Samaria. Go ahead.
Which are named chief of the nations, to whom the house of Israel came. Pass ye unto Calne and see, and from thence go ye to Hamath the great. Then go down to Gath of the Philistines. Be they better than these kingdoms?
So all three of those kingdoms got destroyed, got conquered. Hamath got conquered by them. Gath got destroyed by them. You understand? So the Lord said, go look at these kingdoms that was destroyed, that was once great, right? Go ahead.
Or their border greater than your border?
He said, be they better than these? Y'all think y'all better than them? You understand? If I destroyed them and I let y'all destroy them, if I let y'all wicked ass destroy them, and y'all doing the same things as them, if not worse, do y'all think y'all should be at ease? Go ahead.
Ye that put far away the evil day.
Right. So you should expect at any given moment the Lord to send forth his wrath. You understand? Whether it be in the form of a storm, other nations, plagues, pestilence, whatever. Y'all should know it's coming. The prophets, they warning y'all. He said, y'all put off the evil day. Whatever. Anyway, we ain't worried about that shit. Yeah, repentance, blah, blah, blah. We look what we got. We look what we got right now. I got 2 houses to get out my face. They put off the evil day. Go ahead.
And caused the seat of violence to come near.
And caused the seat of violence to come near. They was encouraging violence. Go ahead.
That lie upon beds of ivory.
They do what?
That lie upon beds of ivory.
They line up on beds of ivory. I ain't never did that. Shit. No, I don't know, because I done stayed in some damn nice hotels before. I pray to the Lord. I was doing the work of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I might have messed around. It could have been, but I don't. I wouldn't know. But this how they was living in their wickedness, lying on beds of ivory. Go ahead.
And stretch themselves upon their couches.
So they stretching themselves. You see how vivid he putting it? Like y'all is super relaxed. Y'all chilling. Yeah. Pass me that hoe over there. Pass me that wine over there. Where my idol at? Light some incense for him. That's how they were living. That's how they were living, bruh. Just like the niggas in the world today. Like you see the drug dealers on the movies, like the Nino Browns, the Scarfaces, hot tub, cigar, wine, naked hoes. You know what I'm saying? White Jesus somewhere in the corner in a picture frame. Same thing. Same thing. Pretty sure Jeroboam thought that the world is his. You know what I'm saying? For real. That was probably on some Scarface vibes. For real. You got to put it into perspective. Go ahead.
And eat the lambs out of the flock, and the calves out of the midst of the stall.
They eating good, feasting, chilling, maxing and relaxing. Go ahead.
That chant to the sound of the viol, and invent to themselves instruments of music like David.
And they partying like David. Remember how David used to get down up to my clothes falling? That's how they doing. That's what they was doing. Go ahead.
That drink wine in
You drink wine in bowls. Meaning that drunk as hell. We ain't talking about little, we talking about chug. You understand? Go ahead.
that drink wine in bowls and anoint themselves with the chief ointments.
The best perfume. The best cologne. Like you ain't have nothing on them. Go ahead.
But they are not grieved for the affliction of Joseph.
But they are not grieved for the affliction of Joseph, the poor of the people, the fatherless, the widows, the oppressed. They're not grieved for them. You understand? It's your people being afflicted right in the midst of you living in luxury on your beds of ivory and your couches with all your wine. Your people right in the midst of you struggling, in affliction. Go ahead. Remember, the Lord said this is a mighty sin. Go ahead.
Therefore now shall they go captive with the first that go captive. And the banquet of them that stretch themselves shall be removed.
The banquet of them that stretch themselves. What is them that stretch themselves? Yeah. Guys, you see how Amos, y'all stretching out all on the couch, nigga. With y'all banquets, y'all parties, y'all functions, gonna be removed. It's gonna be no more. You gotta think, all this stuff came to pass. It was a long ass time before it was a kickback in the Northern Kingdom, bro. We talking about hundreds of years. It was a long ass time before it was another kickback in Samaria, bro. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, you gotta think it wasn't entering into my. It said they put off the evil day. Like, we ain't worried about that. It's the same thing with our people today. It's the same exact thing. It's niggas kicking in right now. And they didn't hurt us or heard of us or had some type, you know what I'm saying? Some type of indication of we in the last days. You know what I'm saying? Wake up, man go get you some money. For real. I'm having, what they be saying, I'm having shit right now. I'm having motion. You understand? When you living like that, you ain't gonna see it coming. All this is gonna be removed. All your kickbacks, all your damn cucumber parties. I forgot about that shit. The cucumber parties, your phone parties, your damn freakniks, all that. It's gonna be never again. It's gonna come to a horrendous ending. Now you can either believe that and act upon that by changing and getting your stuff together so you won't incur that wrath, or you can continue to be in the midst of that, putting off the evil day until that evil day come upon you like when a woman water break. And what happened when a woman water break? Yeah, that's going to be you. You're going to go from, oh my God. For real. It's going down. Damn, bro, it's like, I hate to say it, but I can't wait. Like, I don't want to say it like that. But you got to imagine the prophets, bro. Like, they was going through it. Everybody is, you know what I'm saying, living good, luxurious or whatever. The Lord dealing with you. So spiritually, you know it's all vanity. You ain't messed up spiritually, but you living your life dedicated to wanting them, letting them know what's up, trying to get them to change or whatever. And as a result of that, they hate you. They falsely accuse you. They slander you. You know what I'm saying? They antagonize you. And the whole time in your mind, like, and the Lord then showed you, like, they gonna get carried away from this motherfucker with hooks in they damn, you know what I'm saying? Spears put through their eyes. Children ripped out of their mama's stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going down. The Lord has showed you this. So you like, just imagine that. So you like, damn, like, I want them to see it. Like, I want them to get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? After so long, and them just treating you like you an idiot or whatever, and they just living it up and enjoying themselves. You like, Lord, please bring it. Bring it, please. If you in the spirit, that's how you feel. Like, man, look. Nah, I die daily. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I want to make sure I'm worthy in that day, because the righteous shall scarcely, but Lord, please, I'm tired of these niggas living like just like Noah. He building an ark, putting in all that work when nobody help him. They making fun of him. You know what I'm saying? I know he was like, let it rain, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Drown them niggas, man. For real. Drown them. I mean, especially certain people, like, I want to see them while they see the flame coming towards their flesh. You know what I'm saying? The look on their face. You like I said, you just got to put yourself in the scope of the problem. Like Amos, the Lord, and show them. He already know what's going to happen. And they living deliciously. All right, keep reading. Where we at?
Verse 8.
Come on.
The Lord God hath sworn by himself, saith the Lord, the God of hosts. I abhor the excellency of Jacob.
I do what?
I abhor the excellency of Jacob.
Do you hear that? The Lord said, I abhor the excellency of Jacob. I'm the one that allowed y'all to go in and get this. And it was for the intent that maybe y'all would find it in y'all to finally praise me. But no, y'all didn't acquire this excellency in having orgies and oppressing the poor and worshiping Molech and, you know what I'm saying? Just all out wickedness. I abhor your excellency. Your palaces, your winter houses, your summer houses. I hate this. So this is how the Lord feel about the damn P. Diddy mansion, the Creflo Dollar plane. You understand? What's some more black excellency in America? Oprah estates, damn it, Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying? All that black excellence. The Lord abhor that. I abhor your excellence. Go ahead.
And hate his palaces.
I hate your palaces, your mansions. Cause you niggas, you athletes, you entertainers, you damn politicians, you niggas think y'all think y'all secure. While your people are suffering, you are not grieved with the affliction of your people. You just living it up, enjoying your lavish life, getting drunk, turning up, indulging in all your pleasures while your people suffering. Oh, okay. I bet. Watch this.
Therefore will I deliver up the city with all that is therein.
All that gonna be delivered up. Watch this. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass, if there remain 10 men in one house, that they shall die.
That they shall what?
That they shall die.
So it ain't no escaping, it ain't no banding together and surviving and all of that. You know, leave the world behind. Listen, I'm bringing death on y'all wicked ass. Everybody gonna get it. This is scary. I'm telling you. And we do the same thing today. I'm telling you, it's a target on our back. Because you can imagine. That's what we telling our people to their face. You don't want to repent? You want to go in that store and break the Sabbath when I just told you? You want to go buy a cigarette when I just told you? You understand? Okay, the Lord gonna kill your ass. The Lord gonna do what, nigga? Hold on. It's coming. Read verse 14.
Verse 14. But behold, I will raise up against you a nation, O house of Israel, saith the Lord, the God of hosts. And they shall afflict you from the entering in of her mouth unto the river of the wilderness.
You see how it all came full circle? You see that, right? That was Jeroboam's that was his chief. That's what stamped him as a legend. He was able to recover the land that was taken. After 2 generations, from Jehoaz to Joash, we lost all that land. Jeroboam the second, he went and recovered all of it, restored all of it, and ran it up. Lord said, all right, you don't want to repent? You want to be wicked? You want to keep serving them idols? You want to, all right, that same land that you just got back, I'm going to flick you from the entering in of her mouth all the way down to the river of the wilderness. You understand? From the bottom of Israel, to the top of Israel to the bottom of it. The borders that you just recovered, I'm going to afflict you with a nation that I'm going to send against you. Assyria. So I'm telling you, this the beginning and the end for Northern Kingdom. All right? So, yeah, Lord's willing, y'all was edified. That was Jeroboam II, the re-expansion. That was a lot of land that he recovered. The war, 41 years, you got to imagine all the battles. You know what I'm saying? He was getting in. Came back to the land, started living fat. Him and all his conglomerates. Multiple houses, multiple women. Endless vineyards and wine to drink. Partying every day and relaxing and chilling when you ain't partying, just stretched out on the couch. While there's people in the poor that can't even get a chance to come to the gate and plead their cause. I said, all right, I'm gonna afflict you from the top to the bottom. Everything you just recovered, I'm gonna send a nation to attack it and take it right back. So, all praise to the Most High. Make sure y'all subscribe to IUIC Arkansas. Subscribe to Let's Talk Truth Radio, YouTube, ASAP, and hit the notification bell. Every Friday, 3 o'clock, we got the radio show. All right? You got to subscribe to the YouTube to be able to catch it and hit the notification bell. All right? With that, we're going to say shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Lord's will, next time we deal with King Uzziah. See what he was doing in the South. Shalom. Shalom.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way.